On Billboard tonight, cowboys in Lincolnshire, songwriters in Beverley, and serial killers in Burlington, Vermont. Welcome to Billboard with me, Ted Stanley, for a roundup of theatre, music, art and literature across the Humber region. And a special welcome tonight to Stuart Williams of Wellington School in Qatar and all our viewers in the Middle East. If you're watching on our on-demand service, you can skip to our regular features from the links below. The Ferrens Gallery in Hull hosts an exhibition of wondrous creatures and stunning landscapes in This Planet Earth from Saturday the 4th of May, when you can join curator Angela Kingston for an informal tour of this sci-fi themed display. And at the Riverhead Gallery in Louth, an exhibition by Denise Hawthorne captures the landscapes of Lincolnshire and Northumberland in her own unique style. Indomitable, the latest production from Breakwater Theatre Company, is a one-woman show written by Andy Evans. I met up with actress Sarah Beasley to find out how she's coping with this daunting task.
Well, the play is called Indomitable. And it is a one-woman show where I portray the role of Elizabeth Shepherd-Jones. She was unfortunately caught up in a bomb blast in World War II and as a consequence was made paralysed from the waist down. She wanted to really sort of get her independence back. So she was kind of an inspiration and a pioneer in that time. Although life was difficult for her, she overcame things and made the best of her life.
You say a one-woman show, so yeah. It's a monologue, just you on stage.
Yes, that's probably the challenge of my life.
A lot of lines to learn.
It is. And I'm ploughing through them at the moment.
Indomitable is on Friday the 26th of April in the Albert Room at Cleethorpes Library. Tickets just £5 from the library reception. And Sarah will be joining us later in the programme as our guest presenter on Film Review. Big budget musicals are rarely staged by regional theatres, so there's a real treat in store for playgoers in Louth when the Riverhead Theatre presents Oklahoma for the first time in 20 years. The father of one of the cast, Janine Walker, who runs the bike hub at Grimsby and Louth stations, is travelling all the way from, well, Oklahoma, where he lives, to watch the show. We met up with director Jamie Harris and our very own Janine Ridder to find out more.
It's a love story, really, set in the 40s in Oklahoma. And it's about the farmers and the cowmen in this new territory of Oklahoma. And I'm playing Antella, who wants both lots of people to be friends.
It offers something for everybody, so if you're young and never seen it before, or if you're older and have seen it 7, 8, 9, 10 times, it's a show that doesn't always come round. We haven't done it for 20 years or so. It was the first big musical of its kind. It was the foreground of many modern musicals. It's just over 2 hours long. There's a cast of 35, a full live 6-piece orchestra. There's nothing not to like about this show, and it's suitable for all ages from 6 through to 60 plus.
Oh, Ted, it's absolutely amazing. The old favourites, Oklahoma, of course, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning, Surrey with the Fringe on Top, Kansas City, Many a New Day.
So which one are you going to do for us now?
Oh, no! You put me on the spot there, young man. Oh, the farmer and the cowman should be friends. Oh, the farmer and the cowman should be friends. That'll do.
Oklahoma runs from Monday the 13th to Saturday the 25th of May. Tickets from the theatre box office. The life and music of Hull rock legend Mick Ronson are celebrated in Turn and Face the Strange, a multimedia show at Hull Truck Theatre. Tony Barker talked to co-writer Gary Burnett.
The show Turn and Face the Strange is a series of stories about how Mick had affected different people. And so, for example, his old band members, friends, family, neighbours, all tell their stories. And Rupert was really good at helping with that. And very judicious at saying, well, I don't think that would work, and oh yeah, I think that would work. And so he gave me this task of remembering about a 12-minute monologue, which is this sort of dramatic monologue, the story. And I think I learned such a lot from that, from his sort of skillful way of looking at how to edit something into performance.
I'm an alligator. I'm a mama, papa coming for you. I'm a space invader. I'll be a rock and roll bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. Squawking like a bee monkey bird. Busting up my brains for the words. You know I am. Keep your electric eye on me, babe.
Production's coming back to Hull Truck Theatre in April. How are you feeling about that?
I'm really excited. We're all really excited. So we sold out Freedom Centre in 2017. Hull Truck Theatre asked us if we'd do a week-long run in February 2018, which we did, and we sold out again. And then we've now got a 2-week run starting on the 25th of April, finishing on the 4th of May, 10 shows. And once again, we're looking close to some of the shows are nearly sold out already. But very healthy audiences, even for the the quieter nights. So it makes us think that there's a definite market out there for taking the show further. And I think once this is over, all our energies are into making this show a success at the moment. We're going to have a long think about what next, and we've got some interesting people we're talking with at the moment. But I do think there's more mileage in the story. So yeah, it's not over yet.
And we do, Mick Ronson.
Turn and Face the Strange runs from Thursday the 25th of April to Saturday the 4th of May. Tickets from the theatre box office on 01482 323 638. Now, here with the latest literary news, Hugh Richards with Book Review.
The Porpoise by Mark Haddon is an adventure novel spanning space and time. A child is orphaned by a plane crash, raised by a millionaire, stifling foster father, and forced to live in isolation. A potential mate clearly knows more secrets than he should and must flee the assassin known as the Porpoise. So begins a tale of seafaring, time travelling, piracy, princesses, and a ghostly woman with the teeth of a fish. One for the fantasy fans. Nations and whole societies have a psychological response to crises, just as individual human beings suffer trauma and shock. That's the thesis of Upheaval, How Nations Cope with Crisis and Change by Jared Diamond. He studies 6 nations that have suffered crises, including Japan, when forced to trade with the rest of the world, Finland, invaded by the Soviet Union, and Chile under the Pinochet dictatorship. Their responses, he argues, were as much psychological as historical. He finishes by predicting further trauma in the West because we squander natural resources. He's not cheerful. Thomas Harris, the writer who brought us Hannibal Lecter, has created another monster in his latest work, Kari Mora. The title character is a young woman protecting a fortune in gold buried in Miami. Pursuing her, full of greed and cruelty, is Hans-Peter Schneider, as wicked a villain as any cannibal. If you liked Silence of the Lambs, you'll love this. Don't get bad dreams. And finally, a children's story of magic and adventure. In Dominique Valante's new book, Starfell, Willow Moss and the Lost Day, a young witch must save the world from a thief of time. She is the youngest and least powerful of a family of witches. Her magical talent is to find lost socks and safety pins. She's unfairly despised until, naturally, only she can save the day, the stolen day. Any child who doesn't love the Starfell books has no imagination. This one, as ever, is beautifully illustrated by Sarah Warburton.
Regular viewers to the programme will remember a talented singer-songwriter from Beverley, Rachel McKenna, who entertained us with her contemporary songs and beautiful voice. In between her studies at university, Rachel has found time to write, record and release a new song, I Don't Need You to Be Happy.
And the breeze when it catches my hair, and a stranger smile I didn't notice for a while. You're the only face that feel my stare, 'cause I don't need you to be happy. I just love having someone to love, but you got nothing on me. I'll be fine and you'll see, you'll be the one that's waiting on me. I don't
Rachel's new single is now available to download from Spotify. After the break, a review of some of the latest film releases, and we take it easy with the Illegal Eagles.
And that's where everything's going on. There's a million different jobs and it's something from them all. I know my friends will catch me if I fall. Gotta go and get out there. If you don't like it, move somewhere.
You can keep up to date with the latest entertainment news on our Facebook page, and to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, go to www.billboardtv.uk, select TV channel and click subscribe. Coming up on the show, Bad Apples from York and Murder in Brough. But first, a review of the latest film releases chosen by Paul Lewis and presented by Sarah Beasley.
On film review tonight, Adolescent Angst and Pure Evil. But first, A Woman at War. Benedict Erlingson's film about a secret environmental activist risking everything to rid her home of corporate raiders. With an intriguing premise and a terrific opening scene, it's one to watch. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile. No, that's not a description, that's the name of Joe Berlinger's film about the famously charming serial killer, Ted Bundy. Told from the perspective of his girlfriend, Elizabeth Klepfer, it asks the question, if you were in bed with a monster, would you know it?
This is about catching a monster.
I wish I could take it all back. What about me? I love you. Get out!
The killings were extremely wicked, shockingly evil, vile.
In Bo Burnham's 8th grade, 13-year-old Kayla endures the tidal wave of contemporary suburban adolescence as she makes her way through the last week of middle school, at the end of her disastrous 8th grade year.
Just because things are happening right now doesn't mean they're always gonna happen.
What was in there?
Just sort of my hopes and dreams.
Right.
I was a complete mess when I was your age.
Really?
8th grade is the worst.
You never know what's next, and that's what makes things exciting and scary and fun.
Our family choice this month is Pokémon Detective Pikachu, Hollywood's reimagination of those magical and mysterious creatures that stimulated our childhood dreams and fantasies.
Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him? I don't need a Pokemon, period.
Then what about a world-class detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet. We're gonna do this, you and me.
On DVD and Blu-ray, Cujo from Eureka Classics and One Deadly Summer from Cult Films are also worth a look.
A full review of this month's films by film critic Paul Lewis are on the Billboard TV channel. The Theatre on Your Doorstep programme, run by York-based Bad Apple Theatre Company, aims to bring theatres to small venues in and around Yorkshire. Tony Barker met Bad Apple Amy Bright to find out more about their latest production, Frozen Romans.
I think the play is actually about sort of, you know, where you live, what your home means to you, and the idea of someone coming in and sort of the threat of that being taken away from you, and, you know, what you know and love sort of being destroyed. So I guess the Roman remains, that sort of ties into the story, because the villagers are at a loss. They don't know what to do. They want to save their village, and the only thing that they can think left to do is to find these Roman remains, just something that can stop the development from happening.
Oh, so it's all about NIMBYs then. They don't want things happening in their backyard and
well, they
like
just,
that.
I guess they just want to, you know, the village means a lot to them, and they want to hold on to that, and you know, the countryside and the surrounding areas and the farming and everything. So yeah.
So tell me about the two roles you play in Frozen Romans.
I have got off quite lightly on this one. I'm playing two characters.
All two.
I'm only playing two characters, and they are identical twin sisters. One is nice, one is not so nice. I'm in the show two other actors who are both called Jack, Jack and Jack are playing numerous characters, numerous genders, accents, you name it. They're like, yeah.
Tell us about your two then.
So,
your twin sisters here.
Yeah, so I'm playing Diana, and she works at the local pub called the Merry Gladiator, and she's sort of at the heart of trying to save the village. She's sort of leading the protests and gathering everyone together and trying to find some way to stop the building works happening. And then I'm playing Drusilla, who is her evil twin sister.
That sounds like an evil name in the first place.
I know, yeah, she's really mean, and she's the mayor of the village. So she's at the head of like leading all this. She would say it was improvements, but I think most people who live in the village would disagree with that.
Details of dates and venues for the tour, which starts on the 25th of April, are available from badappletheatre.co.uk. You can learn the skill of creative writing and experience the thrill of getting those ideas and stories out of your head and onto the page with the help of the new Hammond House programme to establish new writers' groups in North East Lincolnshire. If you're interested in forming a writers' group or just joining one, support is available from the Big Lottery Community Fund, including creative writing workshops and even support to get published. Further details are available from literarylonely.com. Murder is on the menu in the latest Peturia Players production, Take Away the Lady. Tony Barker went to find out more from Jill Collins.
If there was something serious did occur, then who but Lavinia would cope? I mean, Father's not at all well these days, and as for me, well, that telegram would still be laying there unopened.
It's a murder mystery. We join the Doubleday family when Matthew the son returns from prison. He's been in prison for 15 years because he was arrested for the murder of his mother. Now, he protested his innocence right from the beginning, and he comes back to the family to say he is still innocent. And the question is, if he didn't do it, who did?
Now, you said you were waiting. I'm here. When do we begin?
As soon as Lavinia comes down.
Oh, comes down? From where?
Don't be silly, Gilda.
Oh, how very dramatic it all is. From the way she spoke to me on the phone this morning, I expected a tragedy, no less. All that Celia had given birth to triplets.
Didn't she tell you anything either?
About what, Richard?
About why we're all here.
Of course she didn't. You know Lavinia, the original mistress of suspense. Besides, if I'd known what it was all about, I'd have probably been so bored by the idea, I'd have stayed at home. Who cares about the Doubledays and their silly problems?
Nevertheless, your curiosity simply dragged you here, I see.
Oh, curiosity? Oh, listen to the woman. My dear, if in the middle of breakfast you received a telephone call from Lavinia demanding that you drop everything and be here at 3 o'clock, Wouldn't you be curious?
We did, and we were.
There we are then.
And we were here on time.
Oh, do stop rabbiting on about time. I'm here now.
What do we see in the scene that we've just experienced?
Well, that was the family have just received a telegram, and Lavinia, who is the one of the daughters of the family, has rang round the family to ask them all to come to the house. At the time, they don't know what it is about, but it's to say that Matthew is coming home.
And is that good news for the family or not?
No, it's bad news. Because, well, one, they all think he did murder their mother, so they're not very happy about that. Or one of them may be unhappy about it because did they kill mother and he didn't?
Take Away the Lady runs from the 2nd to the 4th of May at Bruff Village Hall. Tickets from 01482 666 908 or the theatre website. Now, with news of what else is on where you are, here's our very own Calamity Jane, Janine Ridder, with Box Office. Is it a beautiful morning where you are, Janine?
Oh yes, and what a beautiful day to tell you about the remarkable story of Beryl Sharnock, 5 times world cycling champion, is told in Main Peak's play Beryl at Beverley's East Riding Theatre from the 25th of April until the 18th of May.
Beryl.
Burton.
Wife.
Mother. Yorkshire woman.
Cyclist.
Legend.
At the Baths Hall in Scunthorpe, you can enjoy a girls' night out with the Dream Boys on Saturday the 4th of May, and popular tribute bands Sounds Like the Seekers returns on Friday the 10th of May.
Hey there, Georgie girl, swinging down the street so fancy-free. Nobody you meet could ever see the loneliness there inside you. Hey there.
At the Parkway Cinema Cleethorpes, class act's hilarious dig at amateur dramatics in How Bad Can This Play Get is on the 16th and 17th of May. And at Moon on the Water, Jazz Sunday on the 28th of April features the Mini Bighorns and the Alex Fawcett Band. Britain's Got Talent winner Richard Jones is breaking the limits of the mind in Escape at the Riverhead Theatre in Louth on Friday the 26th of April. And you can watch a star-studded cast in Rogers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma from Monday the 13th of May until Saturday the 25th of May. At the Caxton Theatre in Grimsby, Sherlock Holmes joins forces with enigmatic psychic Catherine Mead to put an end to the bloodshed in Holmes and the Ripper from Saturday the 27th of April. And on the 10th of May, the High on Harmony show features the music of James Taylor and Carole King. At Grimsby Auditorium, the smash hit comedy sketch Hormonal Housewives is on Friday the 26th of April, and from Tuesday the 14th of May, you can have the time of your life with Dirty Dancing. At Hull Truck Theatre, Hester Ulleyart returned to the stage with her latest gritty solo piece, Paragon Dreams, from Tuesday the 23rd of April until Saturday the 4th of May. And you can hear the next big names in spoken word when the Roundhouse Poetry Slam comes to Hull on the Tuesday the 7th of May. Matthew Bourne's reinterpretation of the classic ballet Swan Lake is at Hull New Theatre on Tuesday the 23rd of April, and on Saturday the 27th of April you can check into the Hotel California with the fabulous Illegal Eagles.
Well, that's almost all for tonight's show. You can keep up to date with the latest entertainment news on our Facebook page. And to make sure you don't miss any of our programmes, click the subscribe button below. If you would like us to feature your own event on Billboard TV, you can email details to news@billboardtv.uk. From everyone on the Billboard team, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next month with more entertainment news, entertaining guests and great music.
There's a train leaves here this morning, I don't know